Hello everyone, this is Dusty Maxwell, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. Today we're going to be giving you a bit of an unboxing and an opinion piece with regards to the Intellivision Amico physical products. Now, I'm aware that there is a lot of controversy surrounding the release of the Intellivision Amico and the console itself, but today we are not going to be going into that. This video is specifically to just do an unboxing of the physical products and for me to sort of just give you an opinion about what I think about the games and what I think about the physical products themselves. With regards to the games, these ones specifically, these 4 ones that I got, are from the Volume 2 pack that are currently on the Intellivision Amico website. The reason for getting the Volume 2 over the Volume 1 was just a personal preference for me. I just happened to feel a little bit more interested in the Volume 2 series of the games that they included. And my main reason for purchasing the Volume 2 over the Volume 1 was Moon Patrol and Finnegan Fox in particular. They sort of spoke to me a little bit more. I am a fan of Moon Patrol and the arcade game. With regards to Finnegan Fox, it's a platformer game, and this game is sort of the only platformer that I've seen thus far on the Intellivision Amico. So those 2 games in particular are kind of what made my decision in this purchase. So with that said, let's get into it. Now, the interesting thing and the controversial thing about these games themselves is that they are being released before the system is being released. You can currently buy these games right now before the system has even come out, and I know that this has kind of inspired a lot of confusion and a lot of controversy. With regards to that, we don't really know too much about these games other than the classic inspired ones that have existed before. We kind of know what we're going to get with Biplanes and Moon Patrol. We kind of know what to expect with those games. We don't really know the length of the games or how long they're going to be, but we haven't really seen too much of these games. And I think that's sort of one of the reasons and hesitancy that is putting people off from purchasing the games before they see a little bit more. I do understand that, and I'll give my thoughts about that. With regards to the individual games in particular, we'll kind of just go through them and I'll let you know what I think about them. But other than that, this was a personal purchase. This was sort of a personal decision. I do plan on getting an Intellivision Amico. Hopefully when it does come out, I can do a review of these games and kind of just upload a long play so people can kind of see for themselves. If they like what they see, then they can kind of make a decision about the opinions that they've had, or they can make a decision that makes them sort of come to some conclusions or kind of confirm some of the opinions that they've had about these games and the Intellivision Amico itself. At first glance, when I first got these games, they are a lot smaller than I thought. As you can see, this is a comparison of the size between an Intellivision Amico game and a PlayStation 4 game. They're not crazy small, but they are a lot smaller than I thought. They fit in the palm of your hand and they're quite light. And just for fun, here is an Intellivision Amico game next to my Parappa the Rapper clock. So one of the things surrounding the majority of the controversy about these games is that they're not actually physical games, they are physical products. And what that means is when you open up the cardboard box itself, inside you have a really nice looking collector's card that has a little bit of information about the game itself. You have coins that come with the game. These coins are basically like collector coins that have the name of the game, the Intellivision logo at the back, and then you have the RFID card. Now, the RFID card, if you've been following the whole thing of the Intellivision Amico, is that it's a card that when you tap it to the system, it's gonna download the game from their servers. Now, we don't really know what the Intellivision Amico store looks like yet, or how it's gonna actually be incorporated into the system, or how, when you tap the RFID card, how that's going to work. So a lot of this is sort of uncharted territory, and I think that's also one of the reasons stemming from a lot of confusion and a lot of controversies, that there's not a lot of transparency other than the fact that this RFID card, it has a code, you tap the system, and then it's going to be downloaded onto your system. In essence, the Intellivision Amico, it operates as a digital-only console. These physical products, they sort of present themselves that they are games. It's basically a card that has a code that allows the download from their servers. If you're someone that likes, physical media like CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, or whatever to play your games, SD cards, this may be a bit of a turnoff. And the reason for that is, pending in a few years, we don't really know what's going to happen to the Amico servers or how long the Amico itself will last for. These RFID cards, they're only as good as the support goes for where they are housed on their servers. And the reason for that is once you tap the card to the system, it's going to live on the system. It's not going to go anywhere, it will stay there. However, if in the future, you accidentally delete the game, if it doesn't exist on the server, these RFID cards are pretty much rendered useless and they're just sort of collectibles. So with that being said, keep in mind that the Intellivision Amico, it is a digital system, and these RFID cards are only as good as the support goes for the servers and how long that will last in the future. In theory, you just sort of need to think about the Intellivision Amico like a smartphone or like a tablet. You download a game from the App Store, it's going to stay on your phone. And if it disappears from the servers from where you got it from, if you delete it off your phone, you're not going to be able to download it again. So that's kind of what you're dealing with these RFID cards. So who are these physical products for? So, right off the bat, you can see that they are very well crafted. They're quite good in quality. I do wish, however, that there was some sort of a tab or like a click to the box to kind of keep the cardboard down. As you can see, the cardboard, it's not very sturdy. It does pop off of the plastic. I do wish that there was something for it to latch on so that it could close completely. It's not that big of a deal, when these are up against your shelf, sort of the weight of the other games that are pressing up against it are going to close it. But other than that, I do wish that there was something to close the cardboard down. I do like the design. I do think that the artwork is very retro inspired, and there is a nice kind of cohesiveness going on with the design and the colors. However, with this volume, as you can see, there was a flaw in the design process. The biplane's title is actually not a bolded font where the other ones are. So the other ones, they're all bolded, they're all consistent, and the biplane's font was not bolded. So this is a bit of an error on their part. Little things like this do kind of bother me because these are the first things that we're ever getting sold, and you kind of want to come out of the gate strong with this. You really want people to just feel that there was a lot of thought in the design and there was a lot of caution when releasing these. And I know a lot of people won't care about this, but I do appreciate good design. I do appreciate consistency. The biplanes thing, it does bug me a little bit, but other than that, I like the packaging. I think it's very cute. I think it's very retro inspired, and the packaging is quite strong. So getting back to the whole, who are these games for? Who are these physical products for? If you are a collector, I genuinely think that you are going to enjoy having these products. If you're a fan of trading cards, if you're a fan of collecting coins, that's two things in this packaging. They've kind of gone after that crowd, and I don't particularly collect coins, I don't collect cards anymore, but I do like that there are some kind of like physical things about the game in there to collect. I still collect a lot of physical games, I still collect a lot of Blu-rays and movies, so I do enjoy seeing things on my shelves. If you are getting an Amico and are specifically just going to buy games off of the digital store, you don't want to invest in these, I would say to just wait for the system and wait to purchase these games on the store. The only benefit from purchasing these games themselves is that they are limited collector's edition. And what that means is that these games are going to come with a few more exclusives that aren't going to exist in the digital games on the system. So if you're interested in that, I would say, buy the games. But as of right now, we don't even know what those exclusive features are going to be with the purchase of these limited collector's editions. There hasn't really been a lot of information about what's coming with these limited edition collector physical media products. Off the top of my head, I could say, maybe there's like an additional level or some extra skins for, your Moon Patrol vehicle. There's probably going to be cool things like that you will get, but we don't really know yet. So I think if you're not interested about that, I would just say purchase the digital games off of the store. So let's sort of get into the games now. Moon Patrol, I'm very aware of it. I know that it's a classic game, and I do have history with it. I do enjoy playing Moon Patrol. We've seen some things from it off of YouTube and from their YouTube page, not a whole lot. As of right now, there is a demo that you can play, that you can download from the App Store or Google Play. It's just a demo, it's not the final game. I wasn't too impressed with it, as you know, the controls on the smartphone, I don't really play smartphone games, so I wouldn't let that be the telltale to what the final product is going to be. In my opinion, I think that they should just take it off of the App Store, because I feel like it's doing potentially a little bit of harm to the reputation of Moon Patrol, as I genuinely feel that out of all of the games that they're coming out, for me, I personally think that Moon Patrol is probably going to be one of the more fun ones to play. So I'm looking forward to this one the most, just because I know what I'm getting with this, and I think I'm kind of looking for that casual pick up and play, and Moon Patrol, it pretty much offers, for me personally, I believe it's going to offer that sort of fulfillment the most out of all the games that are coming out on the Amico. Now with Finnegan Fox is basically kind of a remake of a game called Fox and Forest, and Fox and Forest has been out for a few years now. The original was pixel art, and with Finnegan Fox, they've sort of done a reskin. They've kind of contextualized the art to kind of match, I guess, the sort of energy of the Intellivision Amico, sort of the cartoony feel. So I do like the look of it. I'm a big fan of the Tomba games. I'm a big fan of Klonoa. I'm a big fan of Strider. I like the side-scrolling platformer games, so that's what I'm looking forward to most in Finnegan Fox. I hope that it is similar to the original Fox and Forest. And what we know about this game so far is that it's sort of been tamed down a bit to where it's more playable for kids. It's more playable as a casual experience and not so crazy hardcore. So with regards to that, from what I've seen from Finnegan Fox, it looks like a decent side-scroller, it looks like a good time. And with Finnegan Fox, you know, this is a game that I can see myself playing alone. I do enjoy playing with friends sometimes, but I game most of the time by myself. So Finnegan Fox really does feel like this is the game that I'm going to be playing the most by myself, and that makes perfect sense. You know, there's nothing better than having a platformer game that you can enjoy by yourself. So it does say that there are 4 players in this game. I'm very curious to see how that is incorporated in the gameplay, but I do see this as being more of a individual kind of experience. So with Biplanes, this is one that we really haven't seen too much of. So Biplanes is based off of the classic Intellivision game, and with this one in particular, we kind of know what we're getting. We know that, you know, we're gonna get some arcade style of gameplay. Once again, we don't know how long the game is gonna be. We don't know how many levels there's gonna be. So with this one in particular, you know, all we can expect is just arcade gaming, and that's totally fine. I'm curious to see how it controls, and I'm curious to see how it plays, but as of right now, we know that it's based off of the classic Intellivision game and is basically an updated version of it with modern graphics, and it's going to utilize the Amico's controller probably significantly. Now for Brain Duel, I know nothing about this game. I have seen no gameplay from Brain Duel. I don't really know what it's about, or once again, how long it's going to be. In my personal opinion, I kind of feel like it's gonna be sort of like the Nintendo Brain Age games that they had for the DS. Brain Duel's probably going to be a bunch of puzzle games. It's probably going to be a bunch of challenges. I really hope that there's no math involved, because I am not a big fan of math. I don't really want to do math, but if it's something that's clever and if it's a fun puzzle game that, you know, you could play with a friend, this may be a sleeper hit here. I have no expectations for this game, so it may be something where it surprises me and it ends up becoming a pretty enjoyable experience. So based off of what you've seen here today, I hope that you kind of have a little bit more of a sense of, you know, what the packaging looks like. I hope that it's been informative. I hope that you've enjoyed some of the visuals and that you've kind of had a better sense of what's going to be inside of the packaging. As I've said, if you are a collector, I genuinely believe that you are going to enjoy having these on your shelf if you are planning on getting an Intellivision Amico. If you're not a collector, I would say just hold off and see what the presentation is going to be like on the Amico store. And maybe after, you know, you start to hear about what the actual special features are in the limited edition of the games, then maybe you can make a decision off of that. If you think that you'd like to have those extra things in the game that you're hearing about, I would say go for it. Purchase the games in their physical form, and if not, I would say just stick to the digital versions of the games themselves. Thank you for joining me on this unboxing and opinion piece with regards to the Intellivision Amico physical products. I hope that it's been informative, and I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen here in this video. If you like what you've seen and heard, give us a like and subscribe. This is Dusty Maxwell, and I'll see you on the next one.